Welcome back, everybody. So it is November 1st, and that means we are officially at the start of the holiday season. I don't know if you saw Mariah Carey break out of that ice, but that's our indication, everybody. It can be a time that is great for some, but for many of us, it is a time of year that can trigger depression. So Mary Jo Horton is here to help us better understand the seasonal impact on depression. And I want to start by saying that can be a part of a larger episode of depression. Is that right?
Yes. So seasonal depression is really a subset of a major depressive episode. And so you also, though, have a large group of folks who have some seasonal things that happen almost kind of in a biochemistry way, and then some seasonal sadness and depressive episodes attached to things that have meaning and value and connotations around this time of year.
Because that gets into what this season represents.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So some of us are affected by the lack of light.
Yeah.
And there's some real chemistry issues there, and a part of a depressive episode. And some of us really have just struggled through this entire season for a variety of reasons.
So we need to really then be paying attention to what is triggering this for us.
Absolutely. We want to really be paying attention to what our body is telling us, whether or not this is cyclical, like we find that no matter how well we're doing, that this time of year affects our body. So that's an indication that we have some biological chemistry things going on.
Sure.
Or if there were periods of time in which this season didn't negatively impact you, but you're struggling, it might be time to reflect upon, like, what is this attached to? What's going on for me?
Yeah, could it be a little, and it could be a little bit of both, I imagine.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. This is a time of year where we're a lot around family, we're having gatherings, and I think we all know that family can be a little triggering for people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, those closest to us often have been the source of some of our greatest distress.
How do you think this presents itself? Because I know it's different for everybody, but we're talking about depression, but depression can present in various ways.
So yes, absolutely. And I always want to remind folks that when we think of agitation, when we think of anger, impulsivity, lashing out, those can be very clear signs of depression. People don't usually write that off, but what happens is that we're forced to continue to function, but we don't feel well.
Yeah, because you bring up agitation and anger, I don't associate that with depression because I think, oh, you're sad.
Right.
You should be sad if you're depressed.
But the way that we display our sadness oftentimes comes out as anger.
Yeah.
Because if I'm sad, but I'm still having to push myself to go through life, I'm exhausted emotionally, and I may have a greater tendency then to lash out or present with anger.
You see this in your behavioral health work at Memorial.
Absolutely.
Is that there are millions of people who are in that state, and we just have to plow through.
You plow through it, and then so what happens is that you see a lack of functioning, and oftentimes people don't get help until they feel that they can't function, even though they've been emotionally suffering for a great period of time.
Okay. Let's get to some strategies now for navigating the season and the mood. So you say, explore your patterns and reflect on the attached thinking.
Right. What's going on for me? What am I thinking about when I am not feeling well?
Okay. So explore that. Put some thought into it. Be gentle with yourself and create helpful expectations.
So the expectations part really is about what this time of year represents.
Yeah.
We often give ourselves very unrealistic expectations of all the things we're going to do and say and all the relationships we're going to magically repair. You know, we are not the Hallmark movie.
But we want to be, Mary Jo.
Right. Your family that's been the same your whole life is your family the same in November and December, I promise you.
Yeah, just because it's the holiday season doesn't mean everybody's going to act right. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the importance of routine and self-care.
So when we think about building resiliency and we think about things that are going to help us stay well, oftentimes we abandon our routines during this time of year.
Sure.
You know, getting up later, not drinking water, not tending to ourselves.
Because we're in the groove of, oh, we're going to go shopping and we're going to drink all the
I'm
things
going to eat all the
things. And
absolutely. And I'm going to consume more beverages and I'm not going to sleep, and why don't I feel well?
All right, lean into traditions which support a healthy mood.
So I want to give everybody permission to not do the thing, the tradition that always makes you feel terrible.
Like what? Like what do you mean?
Like if you always go to an after Thanksgiving event with your family and you always leave there feeling terrible, let's give ourselves permission not to do those things.
What if your family pushes back?
Boundaries.
Boundaries. We don't always like boundaries when when we're faced with boundaries.
Because boundaries is not about just saying no. It's about saying yes to something else.
Yes to something
So I'm
else.
saying no to this event because I'm saying yes to my wellness.
And respect that when
Yes.
someone tells you that. That's not an offense against you.
No,
Yeah.
it's somebody trying to say that I really want to be a well self and to be best around you. And do you really want to be around me if I'm feeling dysregulated?
Boundaries. Okay. All right. I'm sure we'll be talking about this as the season continues.
Yes.
Mary Jo, as always, thank you so much. And you can see these segments at WSAV.com/Wellness Wednesday. Tina?